All right. Let me explain. You are about to go with me from South Orange County through LA all the way up to San Francisco and beyond. So I thought that I would come on here and just share with you a couple things that have been going on, and we'll see where it goes because it takes a little while for me to get started. Let me explain. No, I don't need to explain anything. All right. So I'm driving from South Orange County to Northern California, and just thinking about a lot of things and a lot of the headlines in particular. Epstein files. That ought to grab somebody's attention. So, yeah, it's very interesting to me how people are going to harp for years upon years about releasing the Epstein files, and then now all of a sudden there's nothing there. Come on now. Come on. Even MAGA people, and some are, but a lot of them are not. They're doubling down. This dude, he told the truth a long time ago when he said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and people would still follow him. And this is a clear indication that that continues to this day. So I don't get it. I think to get my before, as I start, because I'm about to take off here, to get my engine running, because I just had a long day at work and a long drive ahead of me. I think I'll just start off slow, but I had to say Epstein, and I don't even know if that's what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to go live until I have to go pee. How's that? All right. So you see this here? That says kokua, and that's a Hawaiian word and loosely translated to cooperation. Now we'll see if I can follow directions and do this at the same time. Here we go. So I'm starting my journey in Irvine, California, of all places. If you've never been to Irvine, well, in the past I would have said you weren't missing much. So 20 years ago, when I first was living in California, I don't remember. I used to drive past Irvine on my way to on my way to San Diego, and there really wasn't anything here. There was a downtown financial district, but other than that, I didn't see much. There was a university. It just was not I don't know. Anyway, now it's super diverse population. So I work here in the district, and there are a lot of, and I'm sorry for the shaking, but this isn't my normal setup. But Irvine has changed quite a bit. It's a very international city, and so most of my students, I'd say over half, are international. I have a lot of ELLs in my classes, English language learners, which has been a lot of fun this summer. So that's something we could talk about. I've been teaching English over the summer, which is what I've been doing for the last few years. Keeps me grounded, keeps me in the practice, and I genuinely enjoy doing it. But I'm working with a lot of English language learners. I mean, we're using a lot of Google Translate, a lot of AI to translate documents as well, and the technology is just getting better and better. So it's almost like real-time conversations, in Chinese and whatever languages that are represented in my classroom. So mostly I have a lot of Chinese, a lot of Arabic, Farsi, what other languages are represented in my room? Vietnamese, I'm missing some. Bengali, quite a few. And so it's a lot of fun. We work in translation. These kids, they really work hard. And but it's interesting too, because a lot of the content that's taught is really American focused and based, which of course, that's the curriculum. But some of it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're not from here, if that may. So a lot of our methods and strategies, they kind of fall on like deer in the headlights. And so I have to really be dynamic with my pedagogy or with my teaching methods to make it, come alive for those who don't necessarily understand the context. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing this morning, and then just trying to get everything ready so that I can leave. I'm heading up north because the rest of my family is already up there, and we are looking at schools for one of my kids, and I enjoy that area. So, and my sister-in-law and her fiance live up there. So I'm not in my normal setup. I'm in my sister-in-law's car. That's one of the other caveats here, is I'm driving taking the car to deliver to my sister-in-law. So it feels kind of funny because this is a Mustang and I'm super low to the ground from what I'm used to. But we'll get started. I'm really hoping that on this road trip, you got to go through the Grapevine, and before the Grapevine is LA traffic, and I'm just hoping it's not that bad, but I guess we'll find out now, won't we? I usually have a ton of thoughts about this time of day, but I'm feeling a little drained, so here we go. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, I can't, obviously I can't be really checking the comments that much, but I will occasionally, especially if others pop on later. Last night I was up late. I was up late the night before that because whenever my family is not home and I have the house to myself, I always get insomnia. So that's part of it. But another reason is when my family's not home, I'm trying very hard to get as many things done as I normally can't. And so one of the things I've been doing is I haven't been broadcasting a lot this year because my setup, I need a static space to work out of. And I have a almost a 3-year-old running around the house, so I can't leave my equipment out like I used to. So I revamped one of the rooms in the house so that I can do quick setup, with my camera and mics and all that, and then get it put away quickly so when the 3-year-old barges in, anyway, that's kind of the stuff I've been working on. Those of you who have kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then the other thing I've been doing is working on my audio setup for my studio, not to record music, although I do want to get to that, mostly to record vocals for narration. I want to narrate my own book, the one that I've been working on that's coming out, and but you have to have really good sound quality, and I have everything to do that. I just have to prep the room, and so that's what I was doing. Tested out some vocals last night for narration, and it's getting good. I'm not that much of an engineer, but I'm actually getting better at it. AI is just amazing for things like that. So I got 2 windows open at the same time. I've got ChatGPT and then my studio digital audio workstation going, and man, I'm troubleshooting different sound engineering things, and it's pretty spot on. In a matter of a few hours, I have a better setup now with my studio just using like ChatGPT for troubleshooting and things like that. I mean, in the past, I would have gotten frustrated and just walked away from it. And I was able to lock in very close to what I want for my audio production, for my voice, and very, very close. Just a couple more tweaks, and I think I'll be there. At least I'm happy with the outcome. So you'll get to see the results of that soon on the Proximity Portal, this channel, because that same setup that I use for the videos. And then another thing I was playing around with last night is cloning my voice. Some of you are going to hate this, but one thing that I'm not that good at is, well, what I don't like to do is actually this. I don't really like to get on here and talk and be on video. I know that might surprise some of you because I do put out videos, but it's just not my thing. I tell my students all the time, you know, I'm an introvert, and I actually used to be deathly scared to talk, you know, in front of people. And as an educator and as a minister and all that, I've had to get over it. But internally, nothing's changed. I'm still an introvert, and I'm still very much don't like it. I don't like being on camera. And so one of the reasons I got this little setup here is I found that, you know, it's like having you in the car with me. You know, I'm just driving, and you know, my mom worries about it. So Mom, if you're watching, turn it off. She worries, oh, well, you're going to be distracted while you're driving. But I'm like, no, if I have somebody in the car and I'm talking to them, this is just like that. And like, lets me kind of flow with my ideas. And if anybody happens to wander in, they can. But one of the reasons I got this set up was for that purpose, is that I don't have to look at the camera. I'm just looking at the road. I can, you know, just do my thing and not really think about it that much. So it helps me kind of relax and then just share my thoughts. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm cloning my voice. What does that mean? Well, for those who understand where AI is going and all of that, a lot of the stuff that you're listening to, ads and all that, it's not a real person. It's an AI cloned voice. Now, my kids can tell the difference pretty well, but I disagree with my kids. I think that very soon they're not going to be able to tell. And because the voices are just getting better and better, they sound more and more natural. How do you know I'm not, you know, faking this whole video right now? Well, you know, so far it's not that good. But there's something called 11 Labs, and they produce a lot of these AI voice that can do like text to speech. So you type something in and it can talk in all different kinds of voices, and people generally around with it. So you can, I know Snoop Dogg has one, and there's just different celebrity voices and things like that. But the technology has become so advanced now that you can clone your own voice. Why would I want to do that? Well, because I'm a much better writer than I am a speaker. At least I think so. And I a lot of times I want to like share something like really fast, and sadly a lot of people don't want to read. Hey, I see you. A lot of times people don't, or I don't want to get on camera. Like I said, I don't like looking at a camera. It's just not my thing. But if I could clone my voice, I certainly can push out some videos with some solid, timely content. That's the other thing is, you know, I can generate things I want to say very quickly by writing. That would take me forever if I try to sit in front of a camera and talk it out. So if I can clone my voice, I can make real fast, you know, I can make videos and things like that. Audio essays, just to make life easier for people. Now, and have it be in my own voice. I and that's the other thing. I actually hate my voice, and I can't stand listening to it when I watch videos, when I'm editing them, or I can't stand it. Like a lot of people just don't like my own voice. So I don't know why anyone would really want to listen to it, but it just feels more natural, and I'm experimenting with it, so I don't know the end result. So it's called 11 Labs, and you basically have to submit up to 3 hours of your voice talking, using different inflections and everything. And then the AI is able to clone your voice, so you can make your own speech-to-text content. And so I started playing with that last night. I've got about 10 minutes of recorded audio, but mostly I was focusing on getting the setup put together, and I'm very close to nailing the sound that I want. And then hopefully I'll be able to get some time where the house is quiet, and I'll be able to finish it off when I get back down south next week. Oh man, it feels like a Friday. I should turn this camera around and let you see what's going on, but I'm basically on the 405 in still in Orange County, not even close to LA County yet. It's gonna be a minute. Since it's been a minute, Epstein. That's to help the algorithm. Anyway, so cloning the voice is just super cool. I just like playing with these kind of tools, and if I could save myself some time by being able to push some stuff out that way, that'd be great. The jury's still out. When I get to hear my voice back doing these narrations with text to speech, I'll let you know, and I'll share it with you. Oh my goodness. So we're still moving at least, but if it's this bad and I'm not even out of Orange County yet, I can only imagine that it's going to tack on about 2 hours to this drive. So hopefully I'll run into some good topics as we progress. But I didn't sleep very well, as I mentioned earlier, so that's like probably part of the reason that I'm having trouble conjuring up some things to see, I'm slurring. But I got a Red Bull. Here we go. Yeah, we're so I'm just now passing Fullerton, California, Anaheim, Fullerton border, and it's going to be interesting to see what LA looks like. Well, speaking of which, we can talk about that. California. For those of you who like to talk about California but you don't live here, especially those from the persuasion that California is the cesspool of liberalism and all of that. Well, that might be true. You really don't know what's going on here. You might see some video footage, but this place is lit up right now. Not everywhere, but most places, even where I live, there's been a lot of ICE activity, and I don't think it's any secret how I feel about all that. I think it's complete BS, and I think that look, if you're interested, or if your goal really is to get criminals and all the bad people and deport them and get them out of the country, there's a better way to do it. There's a better way to do it than militarizing areas, sending in these shock troops. I get it. It's part of the messaging. They claim that people will self-deport because of it. No, they won't. No, they won't. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that people... What do you have to lose if you're already been living here for many, many years, you built your life here, and regardless of what you think about illegality and undocumented and documented, regardless of what you think about that, put yourself in someone's shoes. You've been here for 10 years, you've been working, and in many cases paying taxes, and you took a risk to come here, and now there's this big crackdown. You're going to take your chances, because what do you have to lose? If you quote unquote self-deport, you know, what they're not telling you is that people don't just come here, and it depends on where from, that's another key thing. People don't just come here illegally because they're lazy or they don't want to do the proper paperwork. No. Because think about it. If it were easier to be able to enter the country and work, because there's clearly a demand for that, people would do it. But the way that the laws exist and the policies and the ways to get visas and stuff like that, they're stacked against you if you're from certain areas. And if, you know, so you're going to take your chances. So I highly doubt that this will really do much. In fact, I think it's backfiring. I don't know what you guys are seeing if you're not from California on the news and everything. And of course, it depends on which station you're looking at or which network. But all it's doing is pissing a lot of people off. That not pissing off immigrants, but pissing off citizens. Because we are witnessing this harassment, and California is under siege. This is a political assault, and it has nothing to do with trying to crack down on criminality. Nothing to do with it. That's the pretense. But we know what it's about. California is the fourth largest economy. Think about that. California pays more into the federal government than the federal government pays into California. California subsidizes all the red states. So let's get that clear first of all. And we know that California is largely a blue state, and it's the enemy of Donald Trump. Let's just be clear about it. And this is a political war. This is an invasion, if you want to really think about it. You think about all these like people going into January 6th flying a Confederate flag. You know, oh, it's our heritage. And states' rights people and all that. Where are they now? Where are they now? Nowhere to be found. Oh, well, it's good when we're talking about slaves, but not when we're talking about a state that welcomes immigrants because they largely like support our economy. And, you know, yes, I know the counter arguments. Well, they're taking up public resources and all that. And these are legitimate discussions that can be had. I don't mind those discussions being had, but what I do mind is a false pretense for an invasion. When you're sending military, not just the National Guard, but U.S. Marines into residential areas that are majority, mind you, U.S. citizens, that is for the sole purpose of intimidation. It has nothing to do with their stated purpose. So yeah, they might nab a few people here and there that do have criminal records and stuff like that. But look, most of them are not. Most of the people that they're nabbing and disappearing, they're not criminals. And then of course, so whenever you challenge the invaders, of this regime's invaders invading my state of California, whenever you challenge them with that, they move the goalposts. They're good. They're great at moving the goalposts. And in this case, the goalposts will be, yeah, well, we might not be cracking down on, or we may not be getting mostly criminals, but, you know, it's more about the messaging, getting them to self-deport. And I forgot what else I was going to say about that because I'm just so damn tired. But I'm driving through California right now, pretty much the full length of the state. And everywhere I go, every town, every city I'm passing right now is dealing with this invasion. And most people don't like it. Most people are opposed to it, but it's a politically charged invasion. And it, you know what? Hasn't been done since the Civil War, if you really think about it, where the weaponized, so here's another, Epstein. I have to say that. I'm going to say that this whole trip. Epstein. Where are the Epstein files? Now I just lost my entire train of thought. Isn't that great? It's complete BS though, what's going on here. It's disruptive to all of us, and we don't want it. We do not want it. And, you know, if you're in a red state and you don't like immigrants, you don't have to have them in your state. You do not have to have them. I suppose you could bring up the argument, well, you know, they're taking up federal funds and stuff like that. But again, these are conversations that can be had without doing this theatrical BS. And all it does is further polarize society. And again, these people have no interest in their stated objective. Not really. Not really. They really don't. So, I don't know what else to say. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know I could receive messages while I'm driving and doing a live. By the way, if you have not liked and subscribed to the Proximity Portal, please do that. We are getting closer away because I haven't been able to push out a lot of content, but we're inching our way to the 1,000 subscriber mark. And trust me, if we can get past that mark, it's all uphill from there. Uphill, what I'm saying. It's all, the momentum will build. It's gonna be a long drive. But that was pretty cool. Yeah, so at least I know I can receive messages. If you're on here and you can contact my wife, hey, let her know what I just said, but she got my text, so hey. All right. There's so much that we could discuss, but I don't know what I'm going to say right now. About to hit some traffic again. Oh, we're really hitting some traffic now. I'm sure it's actually kind of loud. Again, I'm driving my sister-in-law's car, and it's a convertible, so I feel like I'm outside. I mean, it literally feels like I'm outside. Maybe I should just put the top down. All right. You know I'm tired when I'm speechless. I think what I'm going to do, I was planning on bringing you all the way with me, but I think what I'm going to do is sign off for now while I sit through this traffic, and then I get inspired. But if you have not liked and subscribed to this channel, please do so right now, because when we get to that 1,000 mark, that will help us quite a bit. I need to start getting some revenue through the proximity portal, because right now, up to this point, I've been, pretty much financing all the different things we have to do to make the proximity portal live. Oh, that's something. ProximityPortal.com is now live, and it goes straight to our Substack, and we have some videos there already, but a lot of articles, and it's divided into 3 sections, so you can actually sign up for the things that you're interested in. So, like, for example, if you're not interested in like the faith, spiritual aspect of things, you don't have to subscribe to that part. But if you like our news articles and the articles that I write related to politics and culture, then you would just sign up for, or you would just be signed up for those updates. So, for example, I wrote one on Laura Loomer and Alligator Alcatraz, what we call Alligator Auschwitz. That one would come through the one I just mentioned. That one's just called the Proximity Dispatch. All of this is on proximityportal.com, so you can get all of them, or you can just do one, the Dispatch. And then there's Sacred Threads, which is more of our spiritual community, interfaith type of discussions. And then the third one has to do with social activism, and that one is called, wow, I can't even think of my own section on the website. Okay, that's a good sign for me to sign off for now. But Epstein. All right, we are on the 405 heading north from South Orange County all the way to NorCal. I'll be checking in a little bit later. For those of you who actually sat and watched this, God bless you. I'm just having fun and relaxing, but I think I'd rather listen to something so I can get inspired, and I'll pop on here later.